good that I see the Undertaker. I see Dennis Kelly, former Titans right tackle, former Green Bay Packers right tackle, now unrestricted free agent. Hire him, all of you NFL teams that are listening. Dennis joins us now on 104.5 The Zone. You look great, bud.
Look, I appreciate it, man. Unfortunately, it just hit me right now, the colors I'm wearing, which isn't ideal, but thanks for having me, bud. These are always fun.
Yeah, no, it's always good to catch up. So we were just talking about this. You and I are in, it's not parallel situations, but we are in similar situations. Both of us, in some form or fashion, had our football seasons ended in the divisional round after both of us were, at least in my case, loosely tied to a number one overall seed. What has that been like on your end? Because I know what the hell it looks like here.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a different feeling, a crappy feeling. People ask, with the conference championship games, who do you want to win? And my answer was no one, because we were hoping to be beating all of those teams.
Yeah.
So, like I said to you, kind of ready for the Super Bowl to be over, so I don't have to kind of keep looking at these games, especially since we beat both the teams in the Super Bowl this year. It's definitely a very weird, unique feeling.
So you don't even hate watch. You're just like, the hell with it. I'm done. I'm done for the year.
Yeah, I mean, I'll watch them, at least. Like the conference championship games, they were entertaining, so I appreciated that part of it. But it is kind of like I'm just watching the football without cheering, which I guess is always kind of, because I've always at least kind of picked someone to kind of cheer for. But this one, it's just going to kind of be staring at the screen blankly.
I have a sad visual of Dennis Kelly and every other eliminated football player, just dark room, nobody's around them, no snacks, no Super Bowl party, just sitting in front of the screen watching, expressionless with anything that happens. No, that's exactly. It sounds like a terrible way to go through this. So on the brighter side of things, your brother is coming down here. He's got a job as the Titans passing game coordinator. It's very exciting stuff. That's a big deal for a variety of different reasons, Dennis. You've never obviously played for your brother, but you are, you know a lot about him. What can Titans fans expect from what they're getting in Tim Kelly?
Honestly, I'd like to say I've molded a lot of my professionalism off of what I thought he would do. I always kind of saw him as a role model. And so I would say if you liked what I brought, I think you're going to get a very similar vibe with him.
What a self-involved way to give that analysis. Bravo by you.
Someone that's going to obviously work really hard, very passionate. Is going to love being around the guys, and I think really fits the culture there with the Titans.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. And to see kind of the work that he's done over the course of the last couple of years in Houston, Dennis, obviously he's had talent at times, but I think the more impressive thing is what he's done. Having the Texans beat the Titans here in Nashville this year, with respectfully to those players on the Texans roster, they're just out there with a bunch of dudes trying to win football games. I thought that his best coaching jobs have been done in the last 2 years when they haven't had a ton of success on the field from a wins-loss perspective.
Right, and we had talked about that to where, obviously when he had Deshaun playing for him, like you said, that you have some talent there. You had Hop as a receiver. You can kind of almost use it as a crutch where, you take those away, and now it's on you, Tim. Now you kind of have to find a way to make these players work. And I'm glad it seemed to have worked out for him a little bit.
Dennis Kelly, former Titans right tackle, here with us on 104.5 The Zone. We're talking about Tim Kelly's addition to the Titans coaching staff, and then maybe I'll lob some Aaron Rodgers rumors at Dennis and see if I can't go full TMZ on him later on in the show. With that being said, Dennis, not every team has a passing game coordinator. I don't know.
Mhm.
Is that something that you have worked under before in previous stops? Because that's a new addition to the Titans staff under Vrabel. And if so, how beneficial can that be when you're trying to not spread your staff too thin?
Yeah, I think I believe my first experience with it was this year because I believe the Packers had a passing game coordinator. The way their structure was, I really didn't notice.
Yeah.
But I do think it does kind of help. Like you said, it doesn't spread the staff too thin. It kind of helps guys. Everything we have unlimited resources essentially in the NFL, and I'm kind of surprised we don't have more of these, where guys are just, this is your area of expertise. Find your ways. Find, kind of go digging, find what works and why it works, and so I do think it's interested to see if it continues to grow because I saw some list maybe this past weekend about teams that had passing game coordinators this year, and I want to say majority of them had a relatively good passing offense or an offense as a whole. So yeah, it will be interesting to see if that kind of becomes a new development in the NFL.
Now, your game in the divisional round was on Sunday. Did you watch the Titans Bengals game?
We were right after the Titans Bengals.
Then I'm an idiot because that makes that that's correct because the Chiefs and the Bills was the other game. So let me shut the hell up. Titans right tackle Dennis Kelly here with us on 104.5 The Zone. Dennis, the way that it's being talked about here is that basically there's a lot of different things about that offense that people consider to be broken. And we work in different industries, even though our industry is largely the same. But when people hammer something that goes wrong in one football game and they cast a blanket over the entirety of the season. Now there can be some truths in that, but as a player, how much does that frustrate you when you're being hammered for the result of one game, even understanding that game may be the last game of your season, but people are making it a conversation that's much larger than it needs to actually be?
Yeah, I think you said it best. It's a little frustrating because you can't really come out and defend yourself because then you kind of come off as bitter or come off as, oh, you guys don't know what you're talking about. It's the term revisionist history kind of comes up where it's like you forget an entire good season, and then the most recent thing you see or remember is how you feel about them. This is your truth, and it's like you can have a bad game and still be a good football player. And I think everyone is so quick to jump to these, the hot takes or their strong opinions. It's like, not everything has to be this groundbreaking conclusion of a story. Sometimes, it just wasn't their day.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I have bad shows all the time. I don't think that makes me bad at my job, but I'm very, very cognizant of when I have a bad show, although many people listening to this would vehemently disagree with me about how good or how bad I am at my job. We've got a YouTube chat, Zone TV chat, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. People are there's a vast majority of calls saying "Come home, Dennis," and there are others who are asking which Kelly brother has the better choke slam. Would you care to answer that question?
The choke slam. I mean, it's going to have to be me. I mean, he's older. He's not technically fatter, but I'm in better shape. I'm bigger. I'm more athletic, definitely better looking. So like it just everything really just points towards me.
I can confirm all of those things. I think the flow gives you an aesthetic that Tim does not quite have. Dennis Kelly here with us on 104.5 The Zone. So with everything that we've talked about, Dennis, one, you're an unrestricted free agent. I'm going to ask you this, even though we've already talked about this. Would you have any interest in coming back here? Oh, it froze. It froze at the perfect time. Oh, no, he's gone robot voice on us.
Last year's offseason, thought I had a decent gauge on how people were valued. But it's a whole, obviously last year with throughout the league with the COVID cap and all that, teams are acting, a little different. And so I'm just not really sure how this offseason is going to go. I think I played relatively well when I got a chance this season. Showed that I can also pass block in a more of a pass heavy offense. So yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how it goes. Going into year 11.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I kind of understand where that, more or less pigeonhole. I know what I bring to the table.
Dennis, you went robot voice on me like 6 times during the middle of that, so you could have said double middle fingers to the Tennessee Titans, and none of us would have known. It was tremendous. Dennis Kelly here with us on 104.5 The Zone. I don't know how much of this, Dennis, you're hearing, or if you've got robot voice.
Sorry, you broke up a little bit.
Yeah, there it is. All right, Lucas. Why don't we drop Dennis really quick, and then maybe we can bring him back into the middle of the things if Dennis wants to jump out of the Zoom and come back in. Since we're getting a little bit of robot voice, I think we'll do that and see if we can't reconvene here on 104.5 The Zone, because it looks like there's a little bit of a delay. I have no idea what he said about the situation, and we will continue this conversation. He's smiling at me right now. I think he has no idea what's happening. I'm going to text him. But here's the thing about the situation for passing game coordinators in the NFL, right? This is something that you're just looking to diversify your portfolio as far as your passing attack is concerned. And I think that bodes well for a team that needs a little bit of versatility in the passing game, which is exactly what Dennis's brother, Tim, is going to bring to this coaching staff. 615-737-1045 is the number. Dennis, can you hear me okay? You're nodding along. I can't tell whether you're...
Yeah, it seems to have cleared up a little bit.
Okay, we're riding out the issues. What's your least favorite part of the offseason? Other than, not ending up in the Super Bowl, like, is there a part of the offseason that drives you crazy? Froze again. All right, I'm gonna text him. Let's go ahead and Dennis, jump out of the Zoom and then jump back in, and we'll see if we can't salvage this. I'll take a phone call in the meantime. We got Drew in Hendersonville up next between Robot, Dennis Kelly, and everything else that's happening. Hello, Drew.
Hey, Buck. How's it going, man? I enjoy listening to that robot talk with Dennis Kelly.
He could have said double middle fingers, John Robinson, and none of us would have known, Drew. I'm pissed about it.
He could have said, I never want to be back in Tennessee again. I hated it, and we never would have just known. That was so funny.
Unreal.
But I wanted to give, just a quick opinion on what you think, Buck. I obviously think John Robinson, he would never say publicly that we were talking with Matt LaFleur, just a Packers GM and just Packers in general, about getting Aaron Rodgers, because, if that deal didn't fall through, I feel like, that'd be like, that would make Ryan Tannehill feel like that he doesn't have confidence, or that the Titans don't have confidence anymore. That would just be a huge morale check for them in a sense. So I just want to think, do you think he's saying this right now? And do you think that there is a secret, I wouldn't say like secret meeting, but like something like that going on with the Packers, that they're talking, seeing if they can't find something with Aaron Rodgers?
I want to be fair. I want to be fair, Drew, right? Because to say that they've completely discounted the Aaron Rodgers situation would be flawed, right? Of course, every conversation is being had about all the potential ways to make the football team better. That's, at this point, kind of where they are in the process. Now, you have to on one hand consider what is realistic, what is probable, and what are all these different variations of things. Dennis, I've been going crazy here because Aaron Rodgers is building a house in Nashville, and all of a sudden people think that that's going to be quarterback run. You want to break any news? Is Aaron going to play for the Titans next year? You want to go TMZ?
You guys know as much as I do about that.
What's your least favorite part of the offseason? Because this Aaron Rodgers thing, I can't cuss on the radio, but if I could, I would say many bad words right now.
That's fair. There's definitely a downtime in that offseason when people just almost go reaching for something to create. And I get it. You have shows you got to put on. You got to talk about something. But the whole, what is it, with the coaching search, with the flight trackers in the college game, or, how could, this player change this like, there are certain players that can help. They're free agents, that works out. But how often does all of this, let's use this quarterback drama talk, how often does something actually ever happen?
Almost next to never.
Look at last offseason. Every quarterback that there was quote unquote drama with stayed at the same team. Did he not?
Everybody but Carson Wentz. But yeah, basically, there was not a lot of movement.
Right. So that it's like, again, it just seems like it's the same story, different chapter.
All right, so I want you to hear a chapter of what my daily life is like, because we get calls. We love our callers. Mm-hmm. They are of national renown. People talk about the callers that we get all over the place for all the guests who are kind enough to give us their time. And I get calls like this, which didn't happen on my show, but happened this morning, Dennis, about the calling for the firing of a Titans offensive coordinator. So, Lucas, why don't you set this up for Dennis Kelly in the audience?
Yeah, a call this morning on J. Martin Ramon discussing issues within the Titans offense, Ryan Tannehill, and play calling. He wants one certain member of the Titans staff gone. He wants it yesterday.
Okay, go ahead and set that up.
Mitchell in Nashville. Mitchell, what's up?
What's up, Mitch?
Hey, how's it going, fellas?
Good morning.
Morning. Hey, I just want to talk about this Tannehill thing. Tannehill, when we signed him for the big contract of 3 years or whatever it was, I wasn't a big fan of that, but then when we got Dow Loggins or whatever his name is, like, that's Tannehill's problem this year. That dude needs to go. He's so predictable, runs every first down just about. I mean, if I know what they're going to do, I know that a linebacker knows what they're going to do.
All right, so
you see what I'm saying?
Fade it down. Enough of this. Enough of Mitch or in wherever the hell. So he said that Dowell Loggins needs, not Todd Downing, but Dowell Loggins. Lucas Panzica, can you tell me the last time that Dowell Loggins was a member of a Tennessee Titans coaching staff?
That would be 2013 as the offensive coordinator.
Yes. So this is how I spend my time in the offseason, Dennis. I'm in need of a self-help line. I'm in need, not quite suicide watch, but this is what I'm going to spend basically the next 8 months doing.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a lot of fun conversations ahead of you, and I really envy you for all that.
Well,
I thought he said the Dow Loggins. I was like, did I miss something here? Did I miss them hiring someone? But yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
No, you miss the idea that people, when you teeter on frustration with people who may not have all the information but are coming at your neck anyway. This is what it is. This is our lives, Dennis. This is what we have signed up
Dow
for.
Loggins is the current tight ends coach at Arkansas, so maybe the caller thought that this was an Arkansas radio station and that Ryan Tannehill actually plays quarterback for the Razorbacks.
No. You are not here to defend the stupidity. We are not doing that today. Dennis Kelly has been our guest here on 104.5 The Zone. Careful, if you get bored this offseason, I'm going to call you more often and we'll hang out.
Let's do it.
All right.
This is fun. Like I said, always.
Always a pleasure, buddy. Take care.
Thanks, Buck. Have a good one, Buck.
Dennis Kelly, former Titans right tackle, brother of Tim Kelly, who will join the Tennessee Titans offensive coordinator or offensive staff as a passing game coordinator. Some good insight on how Dennis has kind of modeled his career in the NFL off of his brother, who is, of course, older and has been in the league as long as Dennis at this point in a different capacity. 615-737-1045. It's the last call for phone calls. We got poll questions.